Okay, coming up next is Bob the Builder. He's going to be doing some Space Quest the Sarien Encounter. So, Bob, plane is yours. If you crash it, at least you can fix it.
All right, so I'm not Bob. I'm Daggett, and I will be doing commentary for Bob today. I don't know these games terribly well, but I got some notes from Bob about how his run works. Currently has the world record in this, and he came up with some strats to improve things quite a bit, actually. So I will give him a countdown to get started here. Just trying to make sure he's actually ready here. Oh, looks like he started. All right, so the rules in this game, the important thing to know is he's allowed to save, but he can only load a save that he's made during the current run. He can't load a save from a different run, right? Another thing that he does is he tries to get his commands ready ahead of time. You can see down there that he's got a few commands queued up. He uses the arrow keys for movement. Like in this room, it doesn't really matter what order he does things, but he has to get things out of both cabinets. And this being like your typical point and click adventure game, it's very particular about how you do things, right? You've got to get the right order. You've got to guess all these weird combinations of doing things. And this shuttle takeoff here is no different. He's got to do these steps in like a very particular order. You know, he's got to launch and then take off his seatbelt and all these different things, or else he'll die. Like you have to start over. So there he goes. He's getting ready to unbuckle his belt. He's gonna land on a planet, and then he's got to wander around on this planet for a while. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So he has to get the glass, and he has to wander around. I think that's next part. Right. So he has to fight this thing called an Orat, and there's two ways to kill it. In this particular route, throwing the can at the Orat is the fastest way. See, there goes, the Orat's dead, and then he picks up this Orat part, and he was telling me one way he knows how fast he's going, there's this drone that's going to land, and if he can get across the bridge before the drone spawns, then he knows he's on a good pace. So we'll see what happens here. Yep, so there's the drone. So he's on a pretty good pace. This next thing coming up, there's like a magic pixel he has to step on to go down this elevator, and that, oh, he got it like first try. That's very nice. This room can be a bit of a pain. Well, I should say this cave can be a bit of a pain. There's random droppers coming up, and you'll probably see him save the game before the drops, because if he touches them, it's just instant death. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. I know he's told me that if he's standing in the wrong spot when he uses the glass there, he'll sometimes get shredded. So that must have been what happened in that case. So now that you know how this part works, we get to see it again. Get a better sense of how it works. Yeah, that's exactly right, David. Any tiny misstep in this game is just lethal. I don't think he usually. I think he was about to save. Like usually, he uses the glass and then saves. So I think it was just an unfortunate point where he hadn't saved in a little while. You know, marathon luck and all that. All right, so he's gonna launch again. He's got his flight checklist. I'm sure he's going over it, talking to the tower to make sure he's cleared for takeoff and all that stuff. All right, crash landing again. Gets the glass. Uh-oh. Okay, good. He saw the typo and fixed it. That is one thing with queuing up the commands. He's doing the movement, right, with the arrow keys while he's trying to type that. So he's like typing with one hand while not really looking at what he's typing. It's a challenging bit of typing there, actually. Let's see when the drone lands. Right there. So that's pretty typical. Right in the middle of that bridge. Like it's good pace, but it's kind of what you expect. All right, let's see if he gets the magic pixel. Yep. Place the rock on the geyser. And we'll see if he makes a save. Yep, he's making a save this time. So he doesn't want to have the problem with the glass again, which is fair. Yeah, I want to say Bob's taken like something like 5 minutes off of this speed run. I think it was the world record was somewhere around 15 minutes when he started running this game, and now it's under 10. So this screen here is also problematic because the drops are basically random. And I don't even know how well you can see them, but there's three sort of like columns of acid drops that he has to dodge. And then once he gets through that, there's like a room where he has to use the ORAT part and talk to kind of like this Wizard of Oz head. And then we'll get into the part where the RNG can really be a problem if you're trying to do like PB attempts. He has to ride this skimmer across the desert, and these patterns of rocks appear, and it's random. And the game kind of knows that this is a hard part, so they give you like a 3-strike system for dying. So his strategy is he's just going to hang to the left and hope not to get hit, and he's going to save it there since he's taken one hit. And if he gets hit again, I believe he dies. So maybe he has one more. So now he has to make it the rest of the way without getting hit. Unfortunately, if he reloads, the rock patterns will change again. So then he's saving it periodically. Oh, yeah, maybe one of those was a load, actually. I can't tell the difference very well. Yeah, David, I think he told me that he is using Scum VM for 1 and 2, and that he uses something else when he plays 3. Yeah, see, this is a spot where he's just getting some bad luck. And he doesn't have any more durability left on the skimmer, so he has to, reload to avoid that rock. And it's just totally random. He's just getting some bad luck here. And then he gets through. So now this guy's going to come over and try to steal the skimmer. So he has to take the key with him. And then he like basically leaves the screen and then just comes back. So he tells the guy, no, like, get out of here. And he comes back. And then I think he tells this guy, yes. And then he goes in here. And this is something Bob discovered. So he's going to go up this slot machine and he's going to type a swear word. And this actually changes the RNG of the slot machine. So he's going to get the maximum payout every time because he's typing a swear word. And this is a great manipulation. This saves so much time. And so now he's got his max money. He goes out of here and he's able to buy a droid. And then he's able to fly off to the next part of the quest. So that manipulation there, that's like his big contribution to the routing of this game. All right, climb the ladder. As those of you who run Mega Man knows, that the ladder is the real boss. So he's now beat the real boss. Yeah, apparently that swear word thing was like a dev tool that they just sort of left in the game. And that when he was at that cantina, normally you would have to get drunk to learn more, but since this is a speed run, he already knows that he needs to go to this place. So now this is the enemy ship. There's a lot of RNG in this section as well. Yeah, you have to get drunk to learn more. That's like a life lesson from this game. But yeah, there's a lot of RNG in this next section, so he'll probably be saving it as he comes in and out of doors, because there's this is another spot where you got to get like the magic pixel, and it can be a little obnoxious. There he goes. So he can hide in the elevators from the enemies, but for the most part, he's probably just going to reload when he gets trolled by the enemies. So there's a couple ways to do this puzzle, but the way he does it is he puts a jetpack in there, and then he basically gets put in like a washer or a dryer, and they turn it on, and he pops out using wearing their uniform, and then everybody's just like, "Oh, you're one of us." Yep. See, there he goes. Then he opens the door, pops out, and he looks like one of them, and so now they don't question him. He also, I don't think I remember to mention this, but there's like, you can control the speed of the game, and you're about to see a spot where he'll put this game down to like medium or slow or something, because there's kind of this timed thing where he has to pick up a thing at the bar, and yeah, see, he's moving much slower. I don't think it's coming through on the stream, but oh yeah, it's very brief. His menuing is very fast. He drops this grenade on this guy, takes him out. So now he'll have to go down there and punch in like a code on that machine. And like much earlier in the game, there was a place to get that code. But again, it's a speed run. We have the code memorized. So he's saving here because random enemies can pop up and just troll you. So he got kind of lucky there with the guy just like went back immediately. So he gets the remote out and he pushes the button, and then the little keypad will pop up and he has to type in some special code. And I think time will be when he's gonna get in like a like a pod, like an escape pod, and when the escape pod leaves, that'll be time, and it's coming up pretty soon. But how long it takes him to get there will kind of depend on how much more randomness there is with enemies popping up. Yeah, so he saves it here because there could be enemies. Yep. Oh, but the guy walked off. So once this pod leaves, that's time. Get in ship. And that's time. So other than that setback he had, that was actually a really great run. The setback being when he died to the glass thing. And there it is. Our protagonist, the janitor, has saved the galaxy.